5 days down, 25 to go. Hey everyone, I'm Eli and welcome back to the 30-day album challenge. It's only been 5 days, but I have definitely learnt a lot in that time. Day 1 was a pretty good start because I brainstormed a whole bunch of ideas and even got started on the very first song. But these first couple of days were going to set the standard for how this challenge would go. So starting at day 2, the card that I drew for the day was pause, which wasn't really going to work, especially considering I had 29 days left.
So the game plan for today is pretty much the same as it was yesterday, just sort of explore and experiment, and we'll see how we go. I have great news, everyone. The first song has been drafted. So we've got a first draft, and are the lyrics perfect? No, but it's a starting point. I don't remember who said this, but there was an author who, I think it was a writer from The Simpsons, who said that they would always write out a first draft first, just completely not worry about the quality of any of it, and then they would rewrite it. So I guess that's sort of what I've done here. Like, the whole song's been written, and I think a lot of it's quite good. Some of it certainly could be better, but it's a starting point. I'm thinking of naming this song Paraffin, like the wax that candles are made of. It feels like it encapsulates the whole song, so that's the working title.
I then decided to just go ahead and make a track for the whole thing, which I thought would take me quite a few hours, but it ended up not taking as long as I thought it would.
Okay, I've been working on the song for a bit and I've got a bit of a backing track now. Let's have a little bit of a listen. That's all you get for now.
I was really proud of my progress for day number 2. As a full-time student, I haven't really done that much writing since I moved out of home, so the fact that I was able to write a new song for the first time in about a year was pretty invigorating. Surely it could only go up from here. I was really tired on day 3 and I didn't really want to do anything that day, but since I was this early into the challenge, I knew I had to do at least a little bit. I drew the Believe card, which was pretty fitting for how I felt that day, and ended up turning to my trusty pal, the Pomodoro technique. Yes, I know this is an apple.
For the first 2 days of this challenge, I've been using a timer as, the Pomodoro technique, the 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest, because I find that's really helpful for focusing, especially when I'm not really feeling in it. So we're going to try that today, and hopefully the ideas start to flow. Okay, so we've done one Pomodoro session, and as expected, well, not as expected, I don't know if I really expected it, but it worked. We've gotten a few lyrics for another song that I'm working on. We'll do a couple more Pomodoro sessions and then see what we get. Okay, I've done a little bit more writing. I'll give you a little bit of a preview of what this would sound like. I should rise with the sun, 'cause it's good for my health, improve myself, 'cause everyone knows only early risers ever get things done. I know And that's all for now. I've hit a bit of a wall with this song, unfortunately. I'm a bit unsure of where to go from here in terms of the song's structure and that. And I'm still a bit tired, even after using the Pomodoro technique, even though it was quite helpful. The rest of the day is probably just going to be brainstorming at best.
Now, it became pretty apparent really quickly that if I spent the whole challenge in my room, I was going to go insane. So for day number 4, I made a change of scene. Is that the right term?
We're in a new space. I thought we'd get a change of scenery today. Get some sunlight instead of the dark, cold oppression of my room. So here, we're at uni. My uni has some really good practice rooms. It's quite large. There's even more behind me. We might mix and match between here and back home, because obviously here has some really good pianos, but at home has my keyboard where I can put everything through a door into my laptop. So we're just going to be doing some brainstorming today, maybe a bit of lyric writing, and just see what happens.
Because I wasn't at my regular keyboard where I could play things straight into FL Studio, day 4 was more about writing than anything else. I spent a bit of time brainstorming ideas for the album as a whole and spent the rest of my time finishing a draft of the song that I started the previous day.
Okay, some time has passed, done a bit of work, both on sort of the planning of the whole album and even finished the lyrics to the second song. I'll give you a little sneak peek. And I see it around me, in everyone I meet, and I know love should surround me.
I'm thinking of naming this song 18 to 24 millimeters, which is both an age demographic and what some believe to be the focal length of the human eye, although this is kind of contested and I don't know enough about lenses to really argue that.
From the writing that I've done over the past 4 days, we've got a fair amount of ideas. At this point, I've got about 7 potential songs / ideas, but one of them I don't think I'm going to use because it's a bit too similar to the song that I just finished. And they're both sort of contemplative, melancholy songs, and I don't want to bog down the atmosphere of too much of that. So the first two songs that are sort of in the roster are the 2 that I've worked on in the past. Then we've got the 2 songs that I've wrote the lyrics for in the past couple of days, and this one that I just finished. I've been playing a lot of Hades 2 for the past couple of weeks, and I had this idea to make a sort of song that sort of fits that vibe, so really get the rock / metal vibe. So I'm thinking of making a song about that, and I'm thinking of making it based on Sisyphus from Greek myth, mainly because I have a tattoo of him, and I thought it could be cool to do that. And then the last idea I have so far is a sort of instrumental interlude. Big fan of those in albums. I love it when that happens. I think my main inspiration for this is the Cuckoo Ballet by Loewe from her newest album. I would really like to do one of those. It'll probably have to be one of the last things that gets done because kind of need to have all the other songs done to a reasonable capacity first. So that's kind of a if I have time sort of thing, but I would really like to have one. So as of now, having 6 pretty good ideas is pretty good, and there's progress done on each of them, but not a lot. There's still a lot that needs to be done, but I'm happy where I am for day number 4. So I remembered that I forgot to draw my card, and so I drew it after I finished all my writing for today, and today's card is Tell the Truth. And so I'm telling you the truth that I forgot to do that this morning. My bad. Next time.
Now, before I started the challenge, I thought that most of my time was going to be spent on this album. I anticipated working for the equivalent of 8-hour days. And that's not to say that I wasn't working hard. I was averaging about 2 to 3 hours per day on the album, plus the editing work on top of that. And by day 4, I had already got a couple of songs in progress, so clearly I was doing well. But life still happened. I still went to the gym, I still worked, still made my dinner. Insert video of me making my dinner, if it exists. So clearly the 2 to 3 hours I was spending per day was working for me, but I wouldn't be surprised if later on in the challenge, those hours become longer. On day 5, I couldn't get the idea of working on a Hades-style song about Sisyphus out of my head, so I decided to spend my time working on like little tidbits of the song. Okay, my card for today is "It's Time to Rise." I think that's very fitting for this kind of challenge. I really want to work on the Sisyphus song that I sort of mentioned offhandedly yesterday. Because we're here, I'm going to try and experiment with like some MIDI instruments and see if we can get like that sort of rock metal feeling. I don't know if I want this song to have any lyrics yet, which does kind of break my second rule. Maybe we can include some backing vocals or something like that. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I've come across some interesting discoveries and challenges while working on this song. I wouldn't say that I'm super knowledgeable on this genre of music, this sort of like mix between rock and metal, and prog rock is quite prone to using weird time signatures. So in my experimenting with this song, I've inadvertently created a line that is a bar of 7/8 time, followed by a bar of 5/4 time, which makes finding a drum beat for that exceptionally difficult, and I'll try and can it out. So yeah, definitely weird. I'm sure it fits within that prog rock sort of vibe, and it's not going to break my second rule anymore because I have not a lot of lyrics, but I have some lyrics. So I know that I do want this song to have words in it. Unlike the previous two songs, I didn't write it chronologically. I just made like little tidbits. So I'll have to rearrange everything later. Now, over the past 5 days, I've offhandedly mentioned these two songs that I found in my notebook that I'm thinking of revamping for this album. I haven't looked at them at all. I should look at them in the next few days. I'm sure this won't become a problem. But other than that, that's been my experience with this challenge so far for the past 5 days. I think especially in the next few days, I'll need to prioritize putting songs into FL Studio so I can work on them there while still being able to experiment with them. But overall, I think I'm in a pretty good place. I'm hoping that by the end of day 10, I've got a few more ideas or like a few more drafts. So that way we really have enough songs to fill out the album. And then the rest of the challenge is just working on them. But we'll see how things go. If you got to the end of the video and you're seeing this, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for a short video every day and I'll have a longer video for you on day 10. See you then.